same. Who gives a rat's
or
ass?
Adam.
But I said the Wayne Static mask, which I'm going over to show to Brett right now.
Let's see this. I want to see the quality of this Wuchi level. Okay, interesting. Not exactly what I expected. It's not a mask. He's wearing white face paint. It looks like some sort of like Reaper mask thing. The bottom half of his head is painted black. He looks more West Borland-ish.
What if all bands did that?
The hair is sticking out wildly and dyed black.
I would do that. I mean, it's Wayne Static's hairdo. I think it's cool. I think it's cool. What if I died?
Right?
What if Joy
Wayne
Division...
Static's dead? Yes.
Oh, then yeah, you gotta do it.
Right. That's what I'm saying. What if I died?
Yeah.
And
then
you
we'll
wanted
bring
to
somebody
hire
in.
like
Yeah,
a guy that
I'll bring in a fake Brian Quincy.
just bring in a fake Brian, put a Brian mask on him. Boom,
Yeah.
you got yourself like a new fucking whole touring
Or just
act.
attach a beard to a hat, and then we'll have a guy come in and put that on. And then it'll also have headphones that hang from it too. It'll just be like all attached to one thing. He'll throw it on, and it'll just sit there. And I'll do more talking then, and it'll just do reactions.
Yeah, just hire a person who like can talk like me and do my mannerisms. I'd be fine with that.
Okay.
That's why I'm okay with the Wayne Static mask.
Yeah.
I'm 100% on board with that.
What if Joy Division stuck around after Ian Curtis killed himself? Like they didn't form New Order. They would just we're still Joy Division.
Right.
That's what I would have fucking done.
We're gonna have
Josh.
this guy wear an Ian Curtis costume.
But they have to be good.
They have to sound like Ian Curtis. That's what I'm saying.
It can't be it can't be half-assed. It has to be like someone that pulls it off, right?
Right. That's what I'm saying about. That's what I mean. Like, so Wayne Static has an iconic way of singing, and the songs are all out there. And there's probably this guy
He
like
looks enough like him.
Right.
That I would get lost in the moment after enough beers.
he grew up listening to Wayne Static, probably understands Wayne Static. Sure. And is like not doing it as an insult to Wayne Static. He's doing it because as a tribute. And if he sounds exactly like him and he's got the mask on, hey, fucking go for it, man. I've said this a million times. I would be 100% okay with like them opening up adult themed like Chuck E. Cheese restaurants with like a rotating stage of animatronics of other classic rock bands. Like, this is an idea that I have where like you would go to this adult Chuck E. Cheese
John
and it's
Lennon.
like, oh, you want to see the fucking Beatles tonight?
John Lennon brings me a pizza on my birthday.
Yeah, you want to see the Beatles tonight. Tonight, the Beatles robots are going to be on stage, and they're going to play all the fucking Beatles hits, and maybe you can even request, like, oh, he's the birthday boy. He paid for a birthday party. This is the Beatles songs I want him to play. And then the stage flips around. You got a Led Zeppelin. The stage flips around. You got a Pink Floyd. The stage flips around. You see what I'm saying?
It's a lot
Metallica.
of room. It's a lot of room.
But I'm saying you can replace the things. There's only two sides of the stage, okay? And while the Beatles are playing, there's workers behind the stage hooking up Led Zeppelin.
Right.
But these guys, they don't fucking care about seeing the real people. They just want to listen to the same music they listened to when they were fucking 13. You could make an enormous pile of money just being like, go see fucking Robot Led Zeppelin tonight. They would love it. You know, the Cheers, there used to be a Cheers bar that had a Robot Norm and Cliff that sat at the end of the fucking bar. And motherfuckers would go and sit at that Cheers so they could be by Robot Norm and Cliff.
Uh-huh.
It would be a successful business.
No.
That's something I'm trying to open. I just don't
doing
think
the numbers in my head to develop and move and all of that. I mean, they're gonna go with holograms. Is gonna be the only answer.
I don't want holograms.
Different
That's what they're doing.
projections.
That's what they're fucking. That's how they're fucking up Chuck E. Cheese. They're taking out the animatronics and they're putting them on screens, and then they're having a dance for it. And they're like, oh, it's more like a dance party than it is animatronics. I was like, shit, poor kids. They're gonna miss out on the freaky Chuck E. Cheese clicking and clacking up there.
Yeah. I love they're just like always jiggling when they're on the way that they move.
Just up there clicking, click, 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 click,
Yeah.
click, clack, clack, clack. You can hear it over the music. It's freaky as hell. Eyes fucking just keep rolling back into the back of their head and forward. All right, let's take this call.
Yeah, it just sounds like a metal cage being shaken.
That's what it sounds like. You should hear it when you turn the music all the way down.
No. Oh, that's weird.
That's what I used to do when I worked there. We get tired of it. You turn it all the way down.
We should do Brian Quinby's Spotify sleep CD, and it'll just be animatronics running, no background music.
Just clicking and
Do
clacking.
not shuffle that playlist.
Yes, integrity of that order will.
I just
matter.
believe that playlists should be played in the order that they're fucking compiled.
No.
That's just something I believe.
No, it should be like a mixed bag. If you're just going to throw a whole genre at me, I should be able to just pull loosely from it and get a heater.
I kind of want you to listen to the genre in the order that I have decided so that it has the effective
Like it the right way,
way.
goddammit.
Yeah, that's the way I think about it. Like it the right way.
Thanks for calling Street Fight. Who we talking to?
This is Kumar Salahi.
Yay! It's...
Happened to be joined today by my lovely girlfriend Hannah, who you met, I believe, at our previous meeting at the Street Fight show in Oakland.
Hell yeah. What's up, Q-Mars? What's up, Anna? Did I say the wrong name?
We're just hanging out, doing homework.
It's Hannah.
Hannah. I fucking knew I said the wrong name. So here's what here is Q-Mars messaged me, and me and Brett did a horrible job with Shut Up About Politics, which...
No, I wouldn't say that at all.
Give me 1 second here. Give me 1 second, Q-Mars. I'm going to... Jason, if I play this right now, it'll play for the listeners, won't it? We aren't going to be able to hear it, though.
We're going to refresh everybody's memory.
We're going to refresh everybody's memory real quick. Q-Mars, none of us are going to be able to hear this. Well, I can hear it from Brett's computer. But, so this is Shut Up About Politics. It's by The Five and John Rich. Okay, I'm going to pause it now. Q-Mars, what is up with I got this song from you. What did this come from? Where did this, happen?
No, I heard your bit about Shut Up About Politics. I loved it. I think you should sell yourself short there, but I have some corrections. So, the story of we'll put aside the story of the Five, which is weird in and of itself, but the member of the Five that you couldn't identify, Dana Perino, she's actually George W. Bush's former press secretary. And is probably the most successful former press secretary as far as their subsequent media jobs goes. And she loves country music. So she's just friends with John Rich. And what happened was they did a Nashville tour back in April, and they did a live show with John Rich, of course, of Big and Rich. And it was at something called the Wild Horse Saloon. They just did a broadcast of their show. Now, I've been to Nashville. I've patronized a honky-tonk. But this was definitely their element. So they were just there, in a friendly environment to talk their shit. And John Rich has been on the show before. And what ended up happening in at least in the version that we hear, is that another one of the co-hosts, the odious troll Greg Gutfeld, sent John Rich a very long email filled with a lot of ideas for a song. And John just read through this whole email, which is just probably little quotes from his monologues that he does every day, and put together a song. And Shut Up About Politics was, ironically enough, for a show about politics, something that Greg had said on the show, and it became the mantra for this single. And of course it was all for a good cause or whatever. It was for finding homes for veterans or some shit like that.
Okay.
So,
we're drinking energy drinks for veterans tonight.
Yeah, we are actually drinking energy drinks for veterans tonight. Old Glory. They have the Pledge of Allegiance on the side of the can. So, I mean, we're also helping the veterans by drinking an energy drink that a listener sent to us.
No, that's of the power of Fox News, is to be able to do precisely that. The song did make it #1 on iTunes last week. Now it's at like 146, of course. It's because I think what we saw was the power of Fox News to get their, Nazi viewers to buy crap no one else pays for, just en masse. It's a consumerist blitzkrieg, if you will.
It's wild too. The song stinks, but I'll tell you this. So I was at my father-in-law's house yesterday, and I was gonna let him yell at me, but instead I decided to hang out with my daughter while I was there. Me and the kid were hanging out outside and kind of screwing around. And he is not supposed to talk about politics to me.
Shut up.
Yeah. He's supposed to shut up about politics when he's around me, okay? So me and my kid are standing in the kitchen, and of course him and another dude, one of my sister's brother-in-law was who that would be, right? Or maybe my brother-in-law, I don't really get it, right? Katie's sister's husband, right?
Yes, that's
Who's
your
that?
brother-in-law.
What is that? My brother-in-law, my father-in-law are sitting in this room talking, and my brother-in-law is talking about this nice Jewish woman who does gardening for him. I don't know why he had to explain that she's Jewish, but my father-in-law yells, he's like, she's a nice Jewish woman. She's like, not like the rest of them. He's like, what? I like Jewish people. I hate Muslims. And then they just started yelling it in the room. And I believe that was like, I don't think they were talking about politics, but it fucking pissed me off. And I ended up like going outside. Me and the kid ended up going outside, and my wife was drunk. She didn't really realize what was going on. But like, the reason I told this story is because a lot of times these people fucking don't think they talk about politics, but they really just mean shut up about left politics, if that makes sense.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, I think part of the conservative worldview is restrictive of the realm of politics. So they're constantly mad that everything is being, politicized. And the left is, of course, always trying to politicize everything. And I personally, I think that this is a legitimate sort of angle that they have, that they feel that a lot of what, they've considered politics over the past few years, or the past few decades, forever really, which is just reasonable people in power agreeing about, agreeing to respect each other's conservative views on things while sort of mutually oppressing each other. That sort of consensus is now under threat when people are making critiques that, extend from the realms of culture to education and all this other shit. Like, they don't want the realm of politics, which I agree means leftist politics, to encroach on these separate spheres like culture and religion and whatever. As far as they're concerned, when they're saying, oh, I think Muslims suck and Jews are actually all right, that's just a conversation about religion. They're just doing a comparative religious study.
That's absolutely probably what they think they were doing. Because they were yelling it because they know what I do for a living.
Yell.
That's another thing these guys like to do, is they start the fights. Brett talks about this a lot with people that he knows too. Is like, they start the fights and then they get mad when you finish the fights, And this time I didn't. Well, here's the reason I didn't say anything. My car hasn't been starting sometimes, and I gotta like jiggle some cords in it or something to get it to start. And my daughter was like standing next to me. I was like, I'm about to tell him that I hate the fucking troops. I'm about to tell him that one thing I hate is the troops, and another thing I hate is the American flag. But I was afraid that I would walk out to storm out of the house and go to start the car, and it wouldn't start. And I'd have to be out there jiggling wire, and they'd have to come out and probably help me fix it. And I was like, I can't do this right now.
That'd really take the piss out of your mic drop storm out moment.
Yeah.
Shut up.
I mean, I found out that he the municipal building in a small town that he lives in, their American flag was tattered, so he ordered them a new one off of Amazon and went and installed it.
Oh, wow. Oh, how corny.
That shit is
corny.
like, if that happened, the local news channels like 10 and 8 and 6 and stuff. If somebody did that in Montana, that would be on the Columbus News.
He didn't bother
local man.
getting to going to the flag lady or nothing.
No, he ordered off it. Well, why would he drive somewhere?
Local flag patriot respects
He hates
country,
people.
comma.
So what is the 5? Can I ask, like, do you watch the 5?
Okay.
Q-Mars?
I embarrassingly enough watch the 5 every day.
Oh, okay.
Watching Fox as much as I do, obviously, has attained greater relevance in the Trump era because it's impossible to overstate how direct of a line there is from whoever there is on Fox at literally at any moment to Trump. It's like clockwork. So, frankly, whoever's on Fox at any given time is automatically the odds-on favorite for the next cabinet appointment. But
yeah, the thing that I love about the 5 is that they really shake up the Marvel Cinematic Universe.
I have no idea
No,
what that means.
I don't know what it means, but the interesting thing about the 5 is that they don't have guests at all. So it's probably the show on Fox that Trump is least likely to watch because he's the least likely to be on it. And it really says everything that his favorite Fox News show is Fox and Friends, and really that's not even top 5.
So it's just like
But-
5 people from work talking to each other?
Yeah, they don't like to interview people. Sometimes they'll have a guest kind of around the table if it's someone everyone likes, like Alex Trebek, I remember has been one, or Dr. Drew. And usually, it's just 5 positive people sitting around a table made of garbage. And I have several corrections for you. It is not a morning show. It is. This might surprise you, but it's on at 5 in the East Coast.
That's a bad time, though.
This is dinner. Yeah.
Not even
It
dinner
is
time.
right
This
in
is
the middle
perfect for
of
eating your
prime time,
BLT,
between
too.
prime time and daytime.
Okay, yeah, 5 o'clock
And-
is like old
yeah.
people prime time.
And they all have
Yeah,
the TV on
absolutely.
while they eat.
Yeah, their
so
bellies are filled with, Meals on Wheels.
They're at the dining room table.
Their
they're
bellies
wa-
are filled
And
with
it's called
meals.
the 5. It's easy to count for the old people. It's called the 5 because there are 5 co-hosts. And I know you noticed that there are only 4 regular co-hosts right now.
That was
But
a
there
concern.
used to be 6 of them. There used to be 6 of them. And
Wait,
they would rotate in and out because sometimes they weren't free that day. But there are only 5 at any given time.
As long as there's 5 each episode. If they send 4 people out to do the 5, I'm out. I'm out.
And
So here's a little. I'm going to try to be brief about this, but there's a lot of drama in the 5. People don't even realize this was birthed of drama because this was a show that took Glenn Beck's spot when he got kicked out of the Fox News Club for saying something anti-Semitic. He kind of made the alt-right jump a little before everybody else did. And they had to find out, what to replace the most incredibly popular show on cable news with, and they came up with just people talking shit. And so the original lineup was Dana, Greg Gutfeld, as I mentioned before,
The smartest
Kimberly
man in the
Guilfoyle,
world.
who's now dating. Kimberly Guilfoyle is now dating Donald Trump Jr., and that's all she's doing, as far as I know.
Power
but she used to be
play.
a host on the 5. Eric Bolling. I don't know if any of you guys have any reason to know who Eric Bolling is, but he was this oil guy on Wall Street that was just this noxious figure, and he was one of the sexual harassers over at Fox, and so they actually moved the show, which was called the 5 to 9 p.m. because they wanted to give Bolling a different show at 5, and they called that other shit. I don't even remember. And it was on for maybe 3 months before he was fired for sending unsolicited pictures of his penis to female coworkers.
Oh,
and
come on,
to this
God.
day, no one talks about it. It's never mentioned. So the 5 pretended they were returning to 5 p.m. due to popular demand and not because this guy's dick pics got his show canceled.
Oh, it's the 5 at 5.
yeah, that's what he said.
Even better.
And so is Eric Bolling gone?
The picture.
Eric Bolling is gone. So is another original co-host, Andrea Tanteros, who was one of the people accusing Roger Ailes of covering up sexual harassment and all of that. And also, they always have a liberal or someone who's kind of a moderate conservative to sit there and look relatively old and unattractive. So they had this old, fat, drug-addicted former Democratic strategist called Bob Beckel, and Bob disappeared for a while, and he came back in a later season briefly after presumably rehab had failed, and it was just a shit show. He was not clean. So you have Juan Williams, the sort of the NPR. He's the guy that was fired from NPR for saying he was uncomfortable with Muslims on an airplane, and then he turned that into a Fox News career.
The Five is a fucking. I'm looking at. I mean, Greg Gutfeld is. He's a hideous fucking dude.
It's a real,
Greg is the worst.
it's a real
Greg
joke.
is from Berkeley, actually, where I am right now.
I don't know. I think Greg is
Raised by
smart
liberal
and hot. And
He's from Berkeley and what now? I'm sorry.
He was raised by liberal parents, as he likes to say, and his type is that sort of contrarian Gen X hipster. He reminds me a little of my libertarian uncle. The family would call a contrarian, but he was really more of a right-winger. He's one of those libertarians who, like, when it gets down to the individual issues, is actually more of a fascist.
I mean, this looks like the Legion of Doom, like from the DC comic books. Like, just a group of, people that all have their unique points of view on how to, like, drain and abuse the rest of us.
Yeah, I'm reading he had to apologize to Canadians at one point, and he also he's a piece of shit. I'm reading his Wikipedia, Greg Gutfeld's. I knew that he was a guy.
Yeah,
what I know him from was Maxim magazine, right? Like he was a Maxim magazine editor.
You know him
You
from
read
that.
it for the articles?
I didn't read Maxim. It was UK. So this is what I knew. No, this is what I knew about him, and I'll read it. He had an internship at the American Spectator, but then he worked as a staff writer at Prevention magazine, which is an old people magazine. In 1995, he became a staff writer at Men's Health. He was promoted to editor-in-chief of Men's Health a year later in 1999. And then he also was the editor-in-chief of Stuff magazine. So he was a men's magazine guy for a long time. Now he's just a
Now he's
weird
one of the
political
five.
operative. Yeah, now he's one of the five. It seems like he wouldn't want to be called that.
Yeah. No, and the weirdest thing about Greg is that he came in through Andrew Breitbart. Like, he was like friends with him, and Breitbart helped him get this show called Red Eye that you guys mentioned briefly that used to be on at 3 a.m. Eastern time on Fox News. So just think about that. Like, who's watching Fox News at 3 a.m.?
Yeah.
5 is a good number.
Apparently a lot of people, actually, because it was this weird kind of hotbed of, like, you would see the weirdest mix of just ordinary comedians that they would have on, like, New York City comedians who you would see in a club, and then like right-wing political people, like John Bolton would be sitting next to Ann Coulter, would be sitting next to Gavin McInnes.
Anthony Cumia was on there all the time.
Let's watch some
Anthony
5
Cumia.
for the Patreon.
Okay. Yeah, Anthony Cumia was on there a lot. That's where he did his first big interview after he got fired on Red Eye. That was like where he went. He was on that show a lot. Like, they just have all those right-wing kind of New York Comedy Cellar comedian guys on there a lot.
And Gavin McInnes of Proud Boy fame, of course, he was the most popular of the potential replacement hosts once Greg left the show. And when they did polls and stuff of the viewers, it would always be obviously all the Nazis who were fucking watching Fox News at 3 a.m. voting for this guy that at the time, nobody was really talking about fascism necessarily, but he had the exact same views. He was the most popular among their fans, and the Fox News people put the kibosh on that and gave it to somebody, still pretty conservative, but more, safe. And that show didn't last much longer after that. It was a weird place where anti-PC comedians, just people that you might not think of as conservative, but are literally friends with Milo Yiannopoulos and Coulter, because, like Sherrod Small, Kurt Metzger, some people that have supposedly left-wing podcasts now. And the
Wink.
the things that I think we saw during that period of time were the proto-fascist elements of conservatism, getting bored with libertarianism, getting bored with the idea of the Tea Party, and just wanting to be fucking edgy and just be mean. And this was late at night, so it got past a lot of the normal kind of censorship that would keep prim and proper septuagenarian Fox News viewers, away.
I watched it a lot when I was on painkillers. That's how I knew about when I was doing a lot of drugs that would make me stay up all night, because I would pop those pills all fucking night till like 5 o'clock in the morning, and I would watch Red Eye. I mean, I would mostly be watching I actually didn't like Red Eye because it was conservatives trying to be funny.
Yeah.
And I like the conservatives being conservatives. Like I'm like more like Q-Mars, where I like them when they're being serious. I find it hideous, but also like more fascinating. Like I just remember watching Bill O'Reilly and being completely fascinated with like how anybody could take the guy seriously.
Yeah, I also am not just representing myself here. I subject Hannah to this.
It's horrifying because Kumar stays home all day. He's writing his dissertation so he can, have Fox News on as he's writing. I teach during the day and then come home and work on my master's degree. But then I notice that while I'm in like the teacher workroom and everyone's talking politics, I know Fox News take a little bit too much for people to be comfortable.
Oh, you know what?
To be honest, just because...
That is a curse. That is such, like, knowing where they're, like, if you're sitting somewhere and you hear somebody talking about politics that is, like, not overtly conservative, and then they start saying stuff and you're like, wait a minute. I heard that curse too.
I listened to Glenn Beck today. You're saying Glenn Beck stuff.
Exactly. And so that's the position I've now, been placed in.
Have you called anybody out on like because a lot of times these are people who, when, especially if you're a teacher, they probably, because like conservative teachers, there are a lot of them.
Yes.
But they also feel totally under fire, and like they don't ever want anybody to know about their conservatism.
Usually hide behind some sort of anonymity of some sort.
Yeah. So have you caught anybody?
Oh, yeah. I see a lot of people that are really anti-union at my school especially, and it's just wild. Like, they'll just be like, well, you'll be talking about anything, and out of nowhere they're like, well, the unions, they really don't know their place. And it's like, I mean, I was just getting a cup of coffee. Like, I don't know where this
They
is
should
coming
shut up
from.
about politics.
Exactly.
Shut up.
Yeah.
Shut up about politics.
I had the same thing yesterday. Like I said, every time I go over to the in-laws house, he's not supposed to be allowed to talk to me about politics, which is weird because I'm not a baby. Like, I can handle it. You know what I mean? I do it for a living, so I don't need an outlet. Like he needs an outlet. He sits in the house and seethes all day and all night. But every time I get over there, out of nowhere, I just hear I think he's watching Alex Jones now.
Yeah,
because he's getting all of his
that's
news.
hard to fight against.
He's getting I don't think he can watch Fox News because he made fun of it.
It's politically correct if you ask a lot of people.
Right. Well, and he made fun of Fox
easy
News during the Obama years because he voted for Obama. So I think he feels like, oh, I can't watch Fox News. So like, if my wife talks to him on the phone, he'll be like, you know what I'm doing? And she'll be like, what? And he's like, I'm watching my YouTube shows. You know what YouTube shows I watch? And she's like, I don't care. But I said, I imagine it's InfoWars, right? Like he's watching InfoWars and whatever else, Anthony Cumia show maybe. I don't know.
Well, InfoWars also has a lot of umbrella of different outlets that all reference each other as like sources. They all cite each other. So there's like, you can just get caught in that forever.
Are you in that world yet, Q-Mars?
No, I've managed to stay away. Actually, it doesn't interest me as much. I like it polished. I like to see what literally I like to see what the president is seeing. Like,
yeah.
I want to see what more people are seeing than just, sometimes InfoWars is just kind of pathetic. And at least on Fox, I kind of know what's going on, I guess. And it's not just like the desperate ravings of just unhinged people. At least these people are like being fed propaganda, and the moments of spontaneity are all the more rare and all the more precious. But I mean, you guys know I started watching Fox News before I even got super into left politics. I was just watching The Daily Show, and I realized I was way more interested in the clips they would play of fucking Fox News, and so as a scholar, I had to go to the source material.
Yeah. I mean, I'm glad you're doing it. So there's a podcast that you should look into. It's called Minion Death Cult. And they kind of go into the shit that I used to go into on Facebook that I can't go into anymore because a bunch of fans found me on there and kind of fucked up the algorithm and fucked up what I see now on my feed. So if I want to see disgusting conservative shit, like I have to go out and look for it. It's a pain in the ass and it's not part of the show as much anymore. But they do that. And like I appreciate that like you're willing to subject yourself to trash so that we can understand like what's happening on Fox News. And Fox News is the most common news that people are watching. It's on everywhere. Everywhere I go, I see Fox News, and they've hired all the famous guys like CNN. Nobody's watching CNN and MSNBC. They're not making policy based on CNN and MSNBC. All the policy is happening based on what is happening on Fox.
Right.
Well, Q-Mars, tell them where to, Delete Your Account is a great podcast that we have been on. Q-Mars is going to come do a vacation show with me, too, if we can work the timing out, of course. And tell them where to find you.
Yeah, we were recording that vacation show. The Bahamas, maybe?
Well, it's not a vacation for you. It's a vacation for me, where I'll be taking a vacation in July, but there will still be shows airing. But tell them where to find you.
Great. I look forward to it. You can follow me on Twitter at Qmars Salehi, KUMARSSALEHI, and delete your account, of course, at delete URACCT. Make sure to follow us there, and that's the producer tweets from there, so you're getting a whole different experience. I can't necessarily endorse everything that gets said there, but and of course my lovely co-host Rokev.
Yeah.
Hannah, do you want to give your ad? No, she's going to stay anonymous.
Aw, Jesus Christ.
This was a bridge too far.
This anonymity.
Followed by students, so I'm going to have to go private pretty soon.
For those that don't know, she's also wearing a Guy Fawkes mask as she does this, just in case me and Brett see through the camera on their phone. Thanks for calling. We really appreciate y'all calling. We're going to break now.
Absolutely.
Good.
Take
See
care.
you later, man.
Shut
so
up.
tonight,
Shut up.
it's break time. I'm playing the songs, right? All I got to do is play them, Jason. This is the Howling Commandos.
Okay.
If you want to write that down, let Jason write down Howling Commandos. It's 3 songs,
I wonder if that to do anything with
6 minutes. What?
Howling Commandos.
HOW. I'll send you
Like,
the link.
is that being naked in your underwear and screaming at the moon or something?
Jeez, I guess, pervert. I don't know
Well-
what your fucking deal is. This is from their album on Bandcamp, howlingcommandos.bandcamp.com. This is from their 3-song EP called
Is that right?
Howling Commandos. Yeah, I think so.
The
And they're good.
the
They're
Troop
good loud rock
energy
music.
drink truly was not good.
You're not feeling well?
No, I don't feel right right now.
Oh,
that-
no.
My great
Oh, no.
my great grandmother
Nar.
was a diabetic, so she couldn't have sugar,
Uh-huh.
and she had these hard candies. And this was like 1993, 1994, so the artificial sweetener science was really, really crude,
Uh-huh.
and they were the most disgusting things. Just, it wasn't like candy. I was like, why am I eating this? It's
Yeah.
not good. That's what that tasted like.
Yeah, I'm floating on a cloud right now, but ready to go into this break. Who we get listening to? The Howling.
The Howling Commandos. All right, enjoy.
I really do feel like
Hey, what's up? It's Brian. I'm back. We're back from break. That was the Howling Commandos. Oh, wait, it's still playing. All right. Well, we'll let it play. Sorry.
I had to Google Harry Styles a minute ago. Someone in the chat called him Harry Styles, and I think they meant it. He does kind of have a stupid dick. I don't hear a song.
Get away. Make it. I gotta shut up.
Ryan, your fans don't stink. Why would you say such a thing?
And we're back. That was the Howling Commandos. The songs were No Faith, Waste of Time, and What I Did. And you can buy that on Bandcamp. And I think it's on Spotify too. They're sweet boys from Columbus, Ohio. And listen to them. They're pretty good. I enjoy seeing them live. So there we go. I did that. How's it going, Brett?
Great. I'm glad we've had a good call-in show so far. Thank you, Q-Mars, for giving us the heads up on the 5.
We had Q-Mars. We had Tom. It's a cavalcade of stars tonight.
This Friday, Lexington, Kentucky, we will be performing live at Best Friend Bar. Tickets are available at store.streetfightradio.com. All of the information with showtime and directions is there as well.
June 28th, Columbus, Ohio, at the Short North Stage. Tickets will probably be on sale this week, right?
They're on there right now.
Tickets are on sale now. You go to store.streetfight.com. See us in Columbus, Ohio. See us come home. It's a great big homecoming for the two big boys. We're going on vacation the day after that, and we want to party with you.
Yeah, we're going to be in the green room at the Short North Stage.
All right. That's fun, huh?
Yes, it'll be a good time.
We're back.
We'll have a
Brett's
bunch of
sick
people in
from
there.
patriotic energy drinks.
It made me feel a little woozy. I don't ever get those hardcore. I don't ever drink a lot of that. The Bangs doesn't have as much bang as that thing had.
Well, it kills you. This is killing
Ah.
you. Bang made you feel good.
Right.
This is
Bang replenished me. I needed some BCAAs. That drained me with some sort of weird cough syrup.
it needed to have some what's it called? You can just taste these things though. We're just testing them for the show. You don't have to drink the whole thing.
shit.
Yeah.
But I was real tired today, so I thought I would give one a try.
Jason, do you want this?
I haven't
Ah,
overdid it
jeez.
on. I haven't overdone it on any sort of speed drinks on the air in a long time. So
Yeah. Remember when you took all those
trucker speed.
trucker speed for the show
It was
just to let
bad.
us know what you and another guy we were doing on the old show?
Those
We're-
make me sick.
Yeah, Brett took a bunch of them.
I
threw
threw
up foam.
I was throwing up foam all night. Like we were at the bar, I would take a drink, and I would just be like, and then it would just be like a tablespoon of foam would come out. It was for like 24 hours that shit was going on.
Regular straight up original Stacker 3 I can kind of handle, but like
Yeah.
mini thins, the other kind of
Yellow
stackers,
Jackets.
all
Yellow
that
jackets.
shit,
That's what
They
Brett
were.
took.
I'm yakking them up.
Yeah. It was cool, though.
We
That
went
was-
and got official yellow jackets.
That was back in the day when we used to like do stunts. And
I
stuff.
could have done one. I was like, oh, we had real cocaine at the time. We had real rolls. We had real speed. So it was weird to go down to that. And I just was like, oh, I can do a bunch of this. And was like, no, that doesn't work like that.
Maybe because you disrespect the troops so much, you drank this with the pledge on it, and it's poisoning.
I think so.
It's
Yeah,
like your
there's-
body is
it's
like, I
infused.
can't handle all this patriotism.
There's troop vitamins in there.
Yeah.
It just has patriotism in it, and Brett's body is not immune to
It's
patriotism.
made to supercharge the McDonald's cells in your body, and I'm at a dangerously low level. Like haven't had an American diet, you know.
Yeah.
The beef hormones are supposed to get activated by that, and I
Yeah.
don't have that.
Well, I think it has the Pledge of Allegiance on the side, and if you drink it and you're not sufficiently patriotic, it makes you sick.
Wow, that's a stink.
That's like if you say the pledge. You know how bad
Everybody,
you
let's just have a handful of double salt black licorice.
feel? We're gonna keep that
Let's
stuff
fucking
forever.
party.
We would take it to the Columbus show and just throw it out to the listeners.
Fucking drop it in a menthol tobacco vodka shot.
Why don't we take it? We're gonna save it for the big Columbus show, and let the listeners try it.
Put a
while
rubber
we're
band
there.
on that.
Put a rubber band on that shit.
Put that in the
and,
fridge like half of a energy drink.
We were
Like
at
one serving of an energy drink.
We're at
When,
that festival this week, and they were selling these enormous bags of popcorn, and they were like, "Oh, you can't finish it here? Just put it in the old freezer." And I'm like, "Okay, it's
That's weird.
No.
popcorn's fresh. Like that's just something you eat fresh.
Yeah.
you don't freeze the popcorn.
You're not going to eat all this now. Just freeze it. Just pull out a bag of frozen popcorn. Wait for it to get to room temperature and start snacking again.
They said put it in a second bag,
Stop.
put the bag in a second bag, and then freeze it. And I was like, no,
That's because you're a crazy popcorn person.
Yes.
That's because you have so much popcorn in your house. You're like, it's not even bad. I swear it's not.
I mean, it's their life. They're
It
selling
is,
it.
right.
they have a popcorn problem. They're just
Yeah.
like, I
They're
fucking
like,
love popcorn. It's like
I-
those, like if you sell something, so like say you run like a salsa company,
Right.
You're just like, you can fucking eat salsa on ice cream. It's not a
Absolutely.
big deal.
Absolutely. Yes, you can freeze this. You can freeze it, save it for later. You can portion it out and have little salsa packets, right?
Brett, yeah, we talked about something on Twitter this week, me and the listeners, and on Street Fighters page about 50%. I think maybe now I've upped it from 40 to 50% of our listeners have sold Cutco knives or Herb Kirby sweepers, right?
Uh-huh.
And somebody there were two things that were brought up that would be good call-in show material or video material. You know, one of them is me and Brett should probably try to sell Cutco knives
Okay.
together. Like, so you'll go, if they give you leads, I don't know what the original sales thing is. We should get the starter kit and then get the leads, and then you try to sell one, then I try to sell one, and then we film us trying to sell it and see who can sell.
can do it, okay.
And then the other thing we really would like, if you are a listener to Street Fight and you're in sales, feel free to call in and try your sales pitch on me. And, we'll see how it is, because I'm a weird dude that will fall for anything most of the time from sales, So try your sales pitch on me,
That seems fun.
Would love a people helping people salesperson to call in, even though I don't think any of our fans would ever do people helping people.
Yeah, we're not that cool.
Did you hear who's speaking at their convention?
No.
Let me get that up here for you. Because you'd be impressed. They have like a real A-list celebrity guest. List, like the type of guest list that you wouldn't expect. Okay,
George Clooney.
here's the 2019 convention list. Transforming the industry.
Yes.
They have.
The helping industry.
Here we go. Yes.
It's life insurance.
We got 5 people.
Queen
okay?
Elizabeth.
5 people.
The five.
The 5. 1, Patrick Bet David, who is the guy that owns People Helping People.
okay.
We
I was
talked
gonna say,
about him
cool.
once.
I was like, oh no, I don't know celebrities anymore.
Okay. Number 2, keynote speaker, Billy Bean. He was the executive. He's the guy that the Moneyball movie
Yeah.
was written about.
Okay.
He's Moneyball. Brad Pitt played him. Which, by the way, it's the first time I'm seeing Billy Bean. Looks nothing like Brad Pitt.
Yeah. No one wants to look at Billy Bean for a Billy Bean movie.
Okay. So they have to get somebody better looking.
Yeah, someone we can look at.
Okay. This is
something. Yeah.
This is level of importance. So we just did Patrick Bet David and Billy Bean. Okay.
Right.
Jordan Peterson, number 3.
Okay.
What about J. Pete?
The thing is about helping people is
Well, we really like to
those who help themselves are always going to dominate those who can't.
Yes.
Number 4. This is a number 4. This is one that's not in your mind at all. Kobe Bryant.
Okay.
This is a fucking weird one.
This is a good 5. The power of 5. Voltron was 5.
Yeah. The number 1, and just shocking. This is as famous as you can get. George W. Bush. So
The decider.
yeah, that's our keynote speakers for the People Helping People convention. I'm going to repeat it. George W. Bush, that is a top tier guest.
This
You
is
know how much
this
it-
is an MLM scheme.
You know
right?
how much it
Yes.
You know how much it costs to book a former fucking president? That is wild.
This dude's got a big pyramid scheme going.
Yeah.
The biggest.
This is an MLM.
George Bush, Kobe Bryant. You're paying for all of that.
I know. George Bush, Kobe Bryant, Jordan Peterson. They saved a little money on having himself, you know?
Yeah, of course.
But then Billy Bean probably cost some money. He's
Yeah.
probably not a cheap guy.
No.
Then a movie made about him.
Right.
I don't know how you get George W. Bush. I mean, that's probably what do you
Check.
think that costs for
Paycheck.
one day?
Oh, for him?
500 grand?
I'm thinking.
Is it 500 grand?
I'm
So
thinking
yeah.
something like that.
And it's taking place in Las Vegas at the Mirage Hotel and Casino.
Oh no.
And
Okay. Well, I'm glad to see how many people. 1 billion people are doing this. I'm guessing. How many people are doing this?
I don't think it shows that how many people
fucking-
went.
That is a lot of. That is a huge part of society that is involved with that.
Oh, look how cheap it is, though. It takes place from Monday through Thursday.
Oh yeah. Taking them off weekend rates.
Maybe if we weren't on tour, this is when we're going to do the big tour. It's at the end of July. Man, if we weren't on tour, that would be something I would consider trying to make my way into. Because that is some fucking lineup right
What do
there.
we gotta do? Just sell life insurance?
I think it says you can register now, and it. Let me look at the register now. Let's see what
Start
it
selling
costs.
life insurance.
That's the fucking dream.
Oh, you got to put in your email address.
Are they all 5 gonna get together and do like a podcast? I want to see like them all rap together about something.
I mean, I would like to see them do a panel.
I wanna see
like.
them,
I don't
like-
think they're doing a panel. I think
Do
each
like
one of
ma-
them gives a
yeah,
speech.
That sucks.
Do you think any of the 5 people that are speaking at this thing, other than the owner, knows what they're
Have
talking about? Like,
have
knows
nev-
what the company is?
These are standard speeches.
Have never heard of it before being contacted and will never think of it
Yeah,
again.
they're just like, well, I kind of
But-
got this thing about helping people, or how greed is good, so I'll just do that.
They'll pay George W. Bush $600,000 to riff for 20 minutes.
Yeah.
See, the thing about helping people is
Yeah.
that you have to do it. It's
Well,
good.
I might have tanked a whole baseball team, but I made a lot of friends.
I'll say
That
this.
shit.
I'll say this. I have been to one of these. I went to the Americans for Prosperity thing with Matt Christman, and the speeches are
Fire.
like super. No, they're
Oh.
like, well.
You love John Taffer.
Here's the thing. John Taffer was great, but the other guys I saw speak were Jeb Bush and Bobby Jindal. So maybe it wasn't, but Bobby Jindal, like, it was electric in that room. Like, the people in the audience
Really?
were fucking freaking out because they were seeing Bobby Jindal speak. And I was like watching people like nudge each other,
Yeah.
like, Dag, he said that. You know what I mean? Like that
Yeah.
kind of vibe.
Wild.
But
Yeah, he's pretty big celeb in their world. He makes
Yeah.
the movies for them. They can tell their kids about.
Bobby Jindal?
Is that the guy that makes the movies? Is that
No,
the-
he was
Former
the,
governor of Louisiana.
Yes, he was the
Oh.
governor of Louisiana.
I'm thinking of Dinesh D'Souza.
Yeah,
Sorry.
they love him.
He
Yes,
he
that's
embarked
the
on
guy I
the,
love.
the bold conservative experiment of what if we take our state university system and give them $0 a year.
Right.
Well, Bobby Jindal, or no, it's not Bobby Jindal. Dinesh D'Souza once called me an ableist slur on Twitter one time because I said something
I don't like
asinine
that.
to
I
him
don't
on
like
the
that.
internet. Well, you know.
To get these calls in,
All right.
people want to talk to us. They don't want to hear us talk.
Ask them about Kobe Bryant. Ask them if they think that Kobe Bryant, George W. Bush, Jordan Peterson is like an Ozfest sort of lineup, I think.
Yeah, I mean, just sitting down and hearing Kobe come out and just saying, like, you know, hitting the sales floor is a lot like hitting the court, you know, just saying shit like that is just, oh, I love it. And they get paid a bajillion. People are just eating it up. Eating it up.
How do we get on that?
We gotta do more bullshit, man. I told you we gotta do more lying bullshit.
When you're in the paint with a
Which is-
customer,
When you're
We
in
have to get involved with something that only exists on paper, and that we, as people that can know the people at the top of the pyramid, we can get the most of the payout.
Okay.
That's
okay.
how we make money.
Okay. Yeah, let's
We're
do
gonna
that.
get these people that listen to the show involved in our pyramid scheme. If they're below us, we're making money.
I love the. You know, the other high flying cool thing about this PHP convention is he put himself in. Like, the owner put himself in with Billy Bean, Jordan Peterson, Kobe Bryant, and George W. Bush. Like, he's on the same level
He is.
as them.
I'd put my name above George W.
I would
Bush.
have too.
You're doing your street fight festival. You're gonna just bring a bunch of people in to headline. You're not gonna be on there.
Well, we would
You
headline
made-
it because it's the Street Fight Festival.
It's his festival, man. He made the damn company. He brought all the opportunity here.
I don't know. I think if you're going for star power, though, right? You're talking about Street Fight. So, okay. Let's do it like this. We do the Leftist Podcast Festival.
Uh-huh.
Would we really be headlining that?
I don't know.
See? But if we threw it,
Right.
we would be up there near the top.
Yeah, then we
But
would
I
headline.
wouldn't call myself a keynote.
I'd headline.
Okay. Well,
No, I don't know.
but you see what I'm saying, though? Like, if you want to...
I mean, it's relevant.
if the PHP wants to have a star-studded keynote speaker lineup, and then they put one guy in there that nobody knows, like, he's elevating himself.
Don't they know him, though? They're going
I mean, I
mad
guess
for his
they
company,
might.
right?
I guess they might. Okay.
I feel
I
like,
mean, I'm saying about optics from the outside, I guess.
I don't know. The guy seems to me like he's in the center of the hurricane. Like, he wants to be a celeb.
Oh, he does.
Yeah,
he does
that's
a
what I
YouTube
mean.
show.
Yeah, he's ready, and he's getting all these people paid, and he just inserts himself right in there. You know, he's like,
guess I
yeah,
would do
Dr.
that.
Peterson is so right. You know, it's pheromones have a big part of whether you make sales or not. You know, and then he just goes into his speech about people helping people.
I guess I'll go with. I will agree with you that. Yeah, you just put yourself up there as a star, and you become a star.
Yeah, that's all it is, man.
Creating superstars.
Get him. He's got a guy on Dr. Phil. He's got Dr. Phil next.
He does a podcast
Oh,
on YouTube.
he's a worker, man.
He also has a painting.
Businessman.
Remember, he's the guy with the painting.
businessman in the MLMs.
I'll find the painting while you take
Thanks
this
for calling
next
Street
call.
Fight. Who are we talking to?
I believe you're talking to me.
Hey, what's up? Who's this?
Hey, this is Lucas. How are you guys doing?
Great. How are you,
Hello.
Lucas? What's going on tonight?
I'm doing all right. Sitting here listening to the Street Fight and snacking on a bag of Werther's Originals.
Ooh, yeah.
Okay, that's like an old guy
Love it.
thing, but I'll let you do that.
That's fine. They're fantastic. Far better than salty licorice.
It
Have
was
you had
so
salted
bad.
liquor?
It was so bad.
No, I've never had it, but I don't think I need to have it.
You
based
don't.
on the
You
three
know what?
reactions I've seen.
If you ate a salty licorice, spit it out, and then ate a Werther's Original, that would be like ecstasy.
Yes.
Yeah. Werther's Originals are good. They're just hard. I hate hard stuff.
Double salt licorice is a hot stove.
I don't like
touch it.
individually wrapped candy like that. I would like to take a whole handful of Werther's Original and fill my mouth until I can't close my teeth.